Hey guys, I'm back. So that was an amazing Witch's Moon box. I really love the box, but I've worked with Gaia before, like I said in that unboxing. I'm back to kind of do a overview of the oracle cards that we got with the book. So, just gonna take a sip of my tea. One thing about stainless steel cups. All right. So I'll hold them up here because there's not really any other way for me to kind of do this. So this is Dandelion, which is humility. And then we have Daylily. I love these, which is ephemeral. And then we have Dogwood, which is defend. And like I said, it has the Latin word here, like the botanical name, I believe, is what it is. Which I'm not going to even attempt to try and say. Lucius, what are you getting?
Sorry guys to interrupt. Where was it?
What are you looking for?
You know your box of chocolates? You know you have one of those
I don't have any.
Oh.
Out now, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
Close my door, please. Thank you. Like I said, house full of people. Alrighty. Just give me a sec. I'm actually going to turn this light off. Yeah, that's better. I think that might be better. All right, so this is Elder, which is ritual. So I thought after we go through the cards, I'm going to cleanse them a bit. And then, well, I'm going to cleanse them and then I'll shuffle them, let you know how they shuffle. And then I thought maybe we could do a couple of pulls and then see what the meanings are in the book. And Fern, which is growth. These aren't in any particular order. Foxglove, which is connection. Garlic, which is service. Ghost pipe, which is mystery. Golden poppy, which is dream. Hawthorn, which is sacred. Hollyhock, which is abundance. Huckleberry, which is resourcefulness. Indigo, which is enhance. Juniper, which is invigorate. Lady's mantle, which is magic. Marshmallow, which is adversity. Morale, which is regenerate. Sorry guys, should have did that a little closer. There we go. Nettle, which is tribulation, I believe is how it's said. Whew. That's what happens when you're not used to reading out loud and you're just used to reading in your head. Pine, which is persevere. Plantain, which is nourish. Wild rose, which is clarity. Rowan, which is protection. Sage, which is purify. Sala or salal, subdue. Samphire, which is adventure. I apologize if I'm pronouncing some of these wrong. St. John's wort, which is stabilize. Strawberry, which is enjoy. Trout lily, which is patience. Violet, which is attract. Almost there, guys. Wormwood, which is caution. Bearberry, which is strength. Kind of makes sense. Bear. I love bears. Blackberry, which is adoption. Borge, which is courage. Burdock, which is tenacity. Calendula or calendula, depending on how you say it, is brighten. Cattail, which is build. These are my favorite when I was a kid. These and the pussy willows. I love those. Those I buy every spring, actually. Chamomile, which is soothe. Which is what I'm drinking right now. And then we have chicory, which is sustain. Chicory in tea. Oh my God. Amazing. A friend of mine makes, she has her own herbal tea business. Bonnie, Take Charge Tea is what the name of her like tea company name. I do like a big shop, so I have for quite a few months, and then I kind of do it again, so I do it every few months. and I bought her chicory tea that she had. It's chicory and something else. I can't remember what it is. But it's like a coffee substitute. So like if you like coffee and you're trying to kind of either wean off of coffee or just cut down, whatever. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I have maybe 1 or 2 cups a day, and that's about it. And then I drink tea the rest, and you know, water and whatever else. I was like, really? A tea as a coffee substitute? And I was like, oh, well, you know, I'll try it, because, you know, every time she's told me, you know, that, you know, the tea was really good. It always has been. So I got it. I actually ended up finishing the bag, I think, within the first week. That tea, because a lot of the times it's, you know, I'm at work, you know, super, super early. You know, I gotta be at some of my shifts, I gotta be at work for 7 in the morning. You know, with the coronavirus, like, our shifts have kind of been all over. So there was a few times where I had to be at work for like 6:30 in the morning. And so I make a quick, you know, cup of tea, and I use that. I bring it. Oh, wow. Like, and it holds up to cream. Like, you can pour cream in it like you would a cup of coffee. And it, when you look in the cup, it literally looks like a cup of coffee. Amazing though. So chicory is amazing, as you know, when you're making, if you're making herbal tea. Oh my God, amazing. Amazing. Clover, which is nurture. When I was a kid, these little purple flowers, I used to call them honey flowers. I never knew what the name of the flower was. I used to call them honey flowers. Because bumblebees were always on them, but they smelt like honey. They smelt like honey, and I actually used to eat them. I would pick a bunch and rinse them off, you know, under the hose, because I mean, as kids, we all drank out of the garden hose. We all survived. I would rinse them off with the garden hose, and I would eat them. And they tasted like honey to me. So it's so funny that I actually make my own herbal teas here at home, and I use clover, because I buy a lot of my herbs from a health food store. So they're food grade, which means you can use them for teas, cooking. You use them for food, essentially. And our last card is Kohosh. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, which is repel. So those are the cards, each card. This is the back of the card, which is like dandelions, which is really pretty. They're about the size of a tarot card. So they're a smaller oracle card. So this is my tarot card here, which is the Everyday Witch. So as you can see, it's literally the same size as a tarot. This is a tarot deck, but if you do the read up on it, which I did after I bought the deck, this is my very, very first tarot deck. It's the Dreams of Gaia, and I had such a hard time at first trying to read this deck. And so when I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and then did more reading up on it, I really, really liked the cards. The cards were super, super pretty. So I use it now more of an oracle deck. But the lady that wrote this deck, like, she said they're literally, if there was such thing as tarot oracle deck, I think she called it Toracle or something like that, this would be it, because it literally could be used for either a tarot deck or an oracle deck. I really like them as an oracle deck, so I use it as an oracle deck now because I have a couple of other tarot decks that I essentially read from, which this is kind of like a smaller oracle kind of deck card, like the size of it, as you can see. So this is a little on the smaller side for an oracle deck. Just a comparison. The cardstock is pretty good. It's pretty flexible. It is like shiny, you know, that kind of, I don't want to say varnish, but laminated. That's the word. So they are laminated, so they're a little bit kind of shiny, you know, they're not like a matte card. So let's get the sage going here. So essentially, you can cleanse your cards, your tarot cards, your oracle cards, with whatever you like, whatever you want to cleanse them with. You can do sage, you can do Palo Santo, selenite is also very good for cleansing your cards. Alrighty. So everybody's different of how they do it. Some people literally just kind of do this with the deck. For brand new cards, I like to do each deck. So I just kind of, in the smoke, just cleanse it in the sage. So this is white sage that I'm using. So the sage, the white sage, essentially will literally remove any negative energies and stuff like that. It'll remove energies in general. So my regular decks that I work with on a regular basis, I will cleanse those like, you know, once a month, depending if I've had like a lot of like really negative readings in a row, I'll cleanse the cards. But I generally just do it like once a month. I always have a either black tourmaline or a piece of selenite or clear quartz or something, always sitting on my oracle deck, or well, on my tarot cards and my oracle deck. And obviously when I'm cleansing those ones I split the decks up into 3, and then I kind of fan them out of my hand and kind of do them. But this is a brand new deck, so, and just because it's touched multiple hands and, you know, been in multiple depots and, you know, stuff like that, I kind of want to do it card by card. So I apologize if this takes a while, but, you know, then again, my channel is about teaching. So somebody who, you know, is just starting out on a path and haven't bought their first tarot deck or oracle deck, you know, now you know, to cleanse them before you use them. Get to know your cards, you know, play around with them, shuffle them, organize them, put them in order of suits and in order of major arcanas. You know, read the book, you know, sleep with them. Put them in a pouch, you know, or wrap them in a piece of cloth and put them under your pillow. you know, every night. So that way your energy can be on them. If you have the option of carrying them to work with you, like if you work at a desk, like if you have a desk job or something, you know, bring them to work with you, you know, or if you're comfortable, you know. I'm a cashier, so yeah, I can't exactly carry them with me to work. So when I get a new deck, I will put them under my pillow and sleep with them. And then obviously I cleanse them like this, and, you know, look at your tarot deck, you know, try and look and see and feel what you see in the card. You know, what do you see in the card? You know, what's your intuition telling you in the card? You know, let your intuition guide you guys. You know, yes, you know, you read the book and you go by the meaning of the book. That's just like a general like outline, so to speak, of the cards. But you also have to use your own intuition, you know, and your own interpretation of the cards as well, because that's a huge part of it, which is why like every person, you know, like some people are like, oh my God, the Ten of Swords, oh my God, the Tower, it's such a horrible card. Yeah, obviously they're not exactly the greatest cards, but you have to look at the other aspect of the card, right? You know, it's change, it's transformation, you know. Okay, so that situation is done and over with. What have we learned from that situation? You know what I mean? You know, it's like the death card. Death card is the same thing. People are like, oh my God, the death card. Oh my God, does that mean I'm gonna die? No, no, it doesn't mean you're gonna die. It's transformation. It's, you know, all about change and transformation, and, you know, either like a relationship you're in or a situation, or, you know, whatever, you know, depending on what the question is that the person's asking, it's change, it's transformation. So it's going to be like a kind of like a little mini lesson, you know, one-on-one. So like I was saying in the unboxing about how they flake off, I'm very comfortable around flames and fire and candles and smudging and sage sticks and working with herbs and stuff. That's my dog. She's a little upset with me because she's outside, but I have my window open. But when I'm burning any kind of a like smoky sage like this, where I know it's going to smoke a lot, I won't have her in here. So gotta protect my little babies, you know. My animals are my children too, you know. They're human too. To me, they are anyways. We're almost done, guys. Alrighty. See what I mean? So that's where I was saying about be careful when you're blowing. Because mine's been lit so many times, it doesn't really like stay aflame, so to speak. It just smokes up now. So I got to trim it down again some more. But when you first get one and it's like brand spanking new and it's never been lit, a lot of the times it does kind of, you'll have like a flame on it, which is you let it burn for a couple of seconds and then you blow it out, right? There we go. Almost done. Just a few more cards, guys. So I peeked through the book, you know, just quickly, obviously. And I did notice one little blurb in there about how you can use this kind of along with a tarot reading. So if you're doing like a 3-card reading, you do an oracle as like a clarification or to kind of pull everything together, so to speak. Which when I do readings for the outside, I've only done a few. I generally pull a oracle card as well, just to kind of tie things in together, which my oracle pull usually, well, so far, every time I've done it, ends up tying in with the reading that I'm doing. So there we go. So remember, like I was saying about, now I do actually have charcoal in here from burning loose incense in here. So, but this is what I was saying about, you know, kind of smudging it out. I've had a piece of the sage come on my leg and like actually literally burn me. See? There we go. I just want to make sure that this is out. It will, if you don't get all the little red, because I got some loose in here, all of like the red, see how it's still kind of red here out? It will continue to burn. So, always make sure that it's completely out before you leave it unattended. I have seen some people dip it in water. I don't particularly like doing that. I'll use sand. I had in the past, but like I said, my cats are adventurous, and every so often they like to climb on my altar here, the little buggers. They like to come after my feathers. Sometimes they'll bat my crystals around, the little turkeys. And they've knocked the sand out of this shell too many times, and I just, especially in the middle of the night, and you're like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And I've got to clean it up. It's just, it's a pain. Everybody's different. So white sage will completely, you know, just clean all the energy out. Any negative energy, any stagnant energy. I like to burn Palo Santo after because, I mean, everybody's different. There's no wrong or right. I find Palo Santo brings in positive energy. Like I said, see, the Palo Santo pretty much goes out, you know, and I'll grab a few cards at a time and just welcome in that positive energy into these cards. Love, light, and magic into these cards. We welcome just positivity energies. So for readings, doing readings, everybody's different how they do them, guys. Me personally, I like to, I mean, like, and I'm talking like a deeper reading, you know, like, especially if I'm reading for somebody else. I like to do even if it's just a short 10 or 15 minute meditation. I just want to make sure these are all facing the right way, guys. Not that there's no reverse. I didn't see any reversals in there. So, and again, some people do reversals and some people don't. So, I like to do a short meditation before I do like an in-depth reading, if I'm doing a reading for somebody like outside of my home, you know. I've done a few outside of my home, and they've PN'd me their question, and so I will cleanse myself with my white sage, And I always go over myself with the Palo Santo as well. I feel like it just brings in, you know, what I need to do that reading, you know. And then I will do a meditation with a few crystals. Just, you know, like a 10-15 minute meditation. And I'll just think about the question that I'm going to be asking my cards. And then before I do my reading, I ask my ancestors and my spirit guides to guide me. And I'm open for their messages and to speak to me through the cards for this particular person. And then I just continuously repeat the question, and I think of the question, and I just like embody the question. And then, you know, I do my reading. And then I do the same thing for the oracle. I always pull an oracle card when I do a 3-card reading for somebody. So, alrighty, I will move the book. So let's see how these guys shuffle. These shuffle. So they shuffle very nice. So, I mean, if you have small hands, these cards will shuffle. I mean, I don't know. I think my hands are kind of average. I've never really had an issue shuffling too much, and I've got some pretty large cards. So they shuffle pretty cards. They stick a little bit, but I mean, they're brand new. You know, once you use them, you know, they'll, like the gloss, the laminate will kind of wear off a little bit, you know, where you can work with them a little better. There's a lot of misconception about tarot that you're not supposed to buy your first deck. It's supposed to be gifted to you, and, you know, all this stuff. I can honestly say, if I would have waited for somebody to gift me tarot cards, I'd be waiting a while. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with you buying your first tarot deck. You know, it's going to call to you, you know, for me. And there's no right or wrong. I mean, some people, you know, really firmly believe that, you know, your first deck is supposed to be gifted to you. For me and my feeling, and actually both of my daughters are the same, and my mom actually is the same, because my mom did tarot. She used to read tarot quite a few years ago, and then she kind of fell out of it. Now she's kind of getting back into it again. The tarot deck calls you. You know, that's what I believe. Other people believe other things, you know, but my girls kind of feel the same way. My mom is the same, you know. For me, I buy my own tarot only because I'm such an energy feeling person. Like, I feel everybody. I'm an empath, so I feel everybody's energy. I feel everybody's emotion, you know, just everything. And so the cards will actually speak to me, and they be like, and it'll draw me to them, and I'll buy them. And yes, have a couple of decks where was drawn to them, but then working with them, I was just kind of like, they didn't really work for me. Like, I have 2 oracle decks here that are like that. So so these ones, I mean, I won't know. I've never worked with them. And obviously these, you know, they were in my subscription box, so we'll see. And guys, if you have tarot decks and, you know, you don't work with them, just, you know, they just really don't feel right for you, you can re-gift your tarot deck. You know, just, you know, you cleanse the cards, put them in the original box, cleanse the box, and you give it to somebody who you feel may connect with those cards, you know. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all, you know, whatsoever, because, you know, what may not be working with you, you know, this deck may not work with you, but it may work with, you know, somebody else that you know. So So these shuffle actually quite nice, not too bad. I know everybody's different. Some people don't like doing this because they're terrified of bending their cards, but I like to. I used to know how to do that bridge thing, but I haven't played cards in years, so I don't remember how to do it. All right, guys. So everybody's different. I'm just gonna rest my myself. This is how I like to do my card pulls for the day. Trout Lily, patience. That's the card that I pulled. You know, some people shuffle and then just flip over the first card. Sometimes I'll shuffle and I'll separate them in three and then kind of gather them up and then shuffle them again. But I generally always kind of span them out like that when I'm doing a one card pull. And then I just try to, you know, settle my mind, clear my mind, and just kind of feel. And then I pull a card. So patience, let's see. So there's not, it doesn't look like there's like an index where you can just look up the specific card, but I mean, it's in alphabetical order, I believe. So let's just look under P. There we go. So, oh, sorry. Trout T is what I'm looking for. Right, the flowered hammy. There we go. Look at that, trout lily. All right, so patience. So it gives you the information about the flower here. And then, where is it? That's the other names. Just give me one sec. Because it talks about the flower a bit. And like if there's any kind of cautions. And then the plant does not flower. Our attention and getting shorter. No, makes it seem like people. Okay, so they call it the oracle quality, which is like the reading for if you're using it as your oracle card. So this plant does not flower for the first 4 to 7 years of its life, inspiring its oracle quality patience. In this fast-paced world, we tend to expect things to happen quickly. Our attention spans are increasingly shorter, and the internet makes it seem like people are becoming overnight successes, left and right. It can be very hard to have patience in an instant gratification world, but sometimes that is exactly what is required. There is a strong community lesson that we can learn from this plant, as it not only grows in vast independent colonies, but also has a symbolic relationship with ants. Ants feed on lipids produced by the plant. In turn, they spread the lily seeds and protect its delicate foliage from pests. Developing deep community bonds and relationships takes time. Trust is not granted quickly. To really understand a community, relationship, or job, there is no substitute for just putting in the time. In tarot, we would relate this to the Eight of Pentacles, a card of apprenticeship that reminds us that skills are required through work and patience. Another card that speaks to patience is the Ten of Pentacles, the legacy card, which shows us the rewards of patience and investment in one's community and family. You may want things to happen now, but sometimes the slow path is the only path. So true. Alrighty. Shall we do one more? Oop. Yep. Okay. So we're just gonna toss cards here. There we go. I remember one time I was doing a reading for a family member who lives a couple of hours away for me. And I had a card, you know, come flying out of the deck. And my daughter and I, we looked at the card, and it was, I believe it was the Justice card. And she was going through some legal matters and stuff like that. And I put the card back in the deck, and I shuffled. I split the deck, you know, did my little shuffle thing, put them back together, shuffled them again some more, and then did the layout. Lo and behold, that card came out. So that card really wanted to come through. And then that's when I had messaged her. Well, actually, I talked to her over the phone, and I was like, hey, you know, are you having any kind of legal issues right now? Which, that's when I found out, yeah, she was. So, alrighty, so let's do one more. And I'll separate them in three this time. And then gather them up. And give them another little quick shuffle. Caught on my altar cloth there. So we got Golden Poppy, which is dream. The other thing I like to do when I'm doing like actual readings for people is, before I even start, like after I do my meditation and stuff like that, I like to take 3 really deep cleansing breaths, you know, one for past, present, and future. And a very good friend of mine who's been reading tarot for years and years had taught me that. And I find it really helps me just kind of like ground and, you know, be center and present, you know. So like I said, to each his own. Not everybody, you know. Alrighty. Just trying to find the G's. There we go. Golden Poppy, dream. All right, so let me just find the... Okay, there we go. The oracle property of dream refers to the long history of the poppy's use as a sedative and narcotic. Wow. For hundreds or perhaps thousands of years, this plant has been associated with altered states of consciousness, memory, and pain relief. In a tarot context, one might relate this flower to the moon card, which speaks of dream states, exploring the subconscious, and finding the way through illusions. The Seven of Cups, with its message about getting caught up in wishful thinking, deception, or desire without action, can also apply. Dreaming, daydreaming, fantasizing. These are distractions, but can also be the gateway to achievement, happiness, and goal attainment. When I see the word dream in an oracle context, I most often interpret it in a very positive way. How sad life would be without our ability to project into the future or alternate realms. Like everything, dreaming is about balance. Let your imagination soar, but remember that we must not dream our way too far from the real world. After all, someone needs to feed the cat. I like that. That's cute. So I like how in the book it kind of relates it to like actual, like the actual tarot cards, you know. And I know in one of them here, it actually was talking about a 3-card spread. I can't remember what it said. Let me see if I can even find it. Maybe, possibly. Oh yeah, it was caution. That's right. That was the flower, caution. Which one was it? That was caution. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to find it. It gave like a 3-card pull. So they were like, let's say, you know, and it had like an example of, you know, doing a 3-card pull. And okay, now you're just driving me bonkers here. I just need to see what the flower was. You know, you pull a 3-card pull, you know, using like a tarot card, and then you use the oracle card as a there it is, wormwood. That's what it was. I know it was at the back of the book. I remember that because I was looking at the recipes. Okay. Sorry, just give me a sec. I'm just trying to find I think the page stuck. There we go. In much the same way, caution can serve in a sticky situation. Oh no, maybe it wasn't this one. Well, anyways, sorry. See, now I don't even remember where I saw it. I knew I should have put like the little thing there because it caught my attention when I was reading it. Maybe it was in here. Oh, yeah, it was. So it's actually right in the beginning of, so that's what happens when you're doing too many things, where it's like how to read the cards kind of thing. So they give like a little example of a reading here. Hold on, let me just close my window. So the above sample reading, so they did like a 3, take a few deep breaths, draw 3 cards. So this is doing like a reading using tarot, and then using one of these to clarify. Draw 3 cards, or 5 or 9 or 1, whatever you feel is right. Using home or housing as your exam focus. This could be... Okay, so the above sample reading uses just the botanical oracle. So this is just using those. And then it says, but you may find it more helpful to mix this deck with others from your divination practice. You might do a 3-card draw with a tarot deck regarding a new love interest. Let's say you see a Knight of Wands, which is new arrival, young, possibly impulsive. And then you pull it, you get a 9 of Cups, which is the classic wish fulfillment card, and a 7 of Cups, which is illusion, like illusions, right? In our apothecary reading, we draw a botanical oracle card and we get wormwood, which is caution. Okay, this could be a pretty straightforward reading. A new, younger, immature love interest has arrived or will arrive on the scene, but as the 7 of Cups tells us, things may not be quite what they seem, because that's the 7 of Cups is like the illusions card, right? You could very well find yourself caught up in a situation where you think you are getting what you want, but beware, which is the caution wormwood card of deception, illusions, being misled, and so on. Depending on your own intuition, these cards could be read quite differently, but you can see how employing one or more oracle cards in a traditional reading can bring greater focus and clarity. No matter how you use these cards, remember that your own intuition is your most powerful tool. And then she just says, I hope you find this deck useful, fun, and informative. Happy reading. So like I said, yes, each card has their keywords and, their meaning and, whatnot. But you also have to, yes, you take in what those cards mean and, their keywords and stuff. But you also need to add your own interpretation of the cards, follow your intuition on the cards and, what they mean to you. And I mean, obviously, depending on the question, what the person is asking or what you're asking. So, but yeah, these cards, they're really, really pretty. I really like them. I love the artwork of them. I love the feel of the cards. They shuffle very well. The cardstock's pretty good. It's like a playing card kind of cardstock, pretty much. The book so far, just what I've kind of glimpsed in it, I love it. I like the idea that you can use it as an oracle deck, or you can use them as flashcards to learn these plants, what they're used for, if they're edible, poisonous, if you only eat the flowers, or you don't eat the flowers, but you eat like the root of it, or like the leaves, whatever, or if they're just medicinal use only, and, what you would use them for, like what medicinal properties. I like that, as well as I like to work with a lot of herbs. I'm very much try my hardest, and I am still learning, but I like to use home remedies for things. I'm not one to run to the drugstore and buy over-the-counter drugs to take stuff, even though like I have doctors that tell me that I should be taking Advil, you know, every day, or, you know, every time my shoulder kind of flares up, you know, and I get the inflammation. I don't like to do that. You know, I will use other things as much as possible before I take any kind of a medication. I don't like taking medication because there's long-term effects to taking medication. Obviously, if it's a life and death situation and I kind of have no choice and I have to, then well, that's different. But until then, I try to be very natural, you know, when taking stuff, you know, especially for minor things, you know. So I'm very excited to get to know these cards and work with them. And I don't know, maybe I might do an update later, you know, in a few months of, you know, how it's going working with these cards, and, you know, my take working on them, incorporating them with tarot readings and stuff. Maybe I'll do a follow-up in a few months on that, and how I feel they kind of work with tarot cards and readings and stuff. Let me know, you know, if you guys got this Witch's Moon box, which was the February one, and you guys have this deck. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. You know, did you guys like the deck? What did you like about it? What you didn't like about it? Put a comment down below. And if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe and notification bell. And so that way when I upload new videos, you guys will be notified when I upload new videos, especially when I start putting like my series videos on here for, you know, different things, which I plan on doing within the next few weeks. So I'm just kind of finishing up some writings and kind of organizing what days I'm going to do it. And then I'll probably do like a little short couple of minute video of like, you know, what it is that I'm going to be doing and what day I'm doing it, and, you know, what time I'm doing it at. And then, you know, if you guys want to do it with me, what, you know, what you guys would need to do that spell or that ritual or whatever. So, but yeah, so this was the kind of little short introduction, I guess, to kind of tarot a little bit. Well, these are oracle cards, but I mean, you would do the same thing with your oracle cards that you would do with your tarot cards. So I do anyway. So, and this is a set from the Witch's Moon subscription box for February. And I thank you guys for watching, and blessed be.